Thank you, Travis. Good evening, viewers. Beginning the Monday's regional news with news from Brazil. Luiz Inácio da Silva narrowly defeated President Jair Bolsonaro in a runoff election on Sunday that marked a stunning comeback for the leftist former president and the end of Brazil's most right-wing government in decades. Brazil's Supreme Electoral Court declared Lula the next president with 50.9% of votes versus 49.1% for Bolsonaro. The 77-year-old Lula's inauguration is scheduled for January 1. The vote was a rebuke for the fiery far-right populism of Bolsonaro, who emerged from the backbenches of Congress to forge a novel conservative coalition but lost support as Brazil ran up one of the worst death tolls of the coronavirus pandemic. Bolsonaro remained silent last night after results were announced, and some of his allies publicly acknowledged his defeat, defying expectations that he might immediately challenge the narrow result after making baseless claims of the fraud in previous elections. Lula said in a speech he would unite a divided country and ensure that Brazilians put down arms that never should have been taken up, while inviting international cooperation to preserve the Amazonia rainforest and make global trade more fair. Last year, Bolsonaro, 67, openly discussed refusing to accept the results of the vote. Lula has vowed to return to state-driven economic growth and social policies that helped lift millions out of poverty when he was previously president from 2003 to 2010. He also promises to combat destruction of the Amazon rainforest, now at a 15-year high, and make Brazil a leader in global climate talks. Some international news. At least 132 people died and several are feared injured after a cable bridge collapsed in a river in the western India state of Gujarat on Sunday evening. Reports indicated that hundreds plunged into the Machu River when the bridge in the state's Murubi district collapsed. It was not immediately clear how many people were on the bridge. The bridge, which was recently reopened to the public after renovation, gave way as it could not handle the number of people on it, according to authorities. State Minister Brajesh Marja said due to the bridge collapse, several people fell into the river. There are reports that several people have suffered injuries. Rescue operations were summoned, while reports have stated that Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced compensation to the families of the dead. The incident has described as one of the deadliest accidents in the country in the past 10 years. Some 400 people had bought tickets to get onto the bridge to celebrate the Diwali and Chhat Puja festivals, less than a week after the span was reopened following renovations. And finally, in South Korea, citizens are searching for answers after Halloween celebrations in the capital, Seoul, turned into one of the country's worst disasters, with authorities declaring a national mourning period as they investigate how a chaotic crush left at least 151 people dead. Tens of thousands of costumed partygoers, mostly teenagers and young adults, had poured into the popular nightlife neighborhood of Itaewon to enjoy South Korea's first Halloween celebration since it lifted COVID-19 restrictions such as crowd limits and face mask rules. But the festivities descended into chaos, with photos and videos on social media showing huge crowds crammed into a narrow alley. Eyewitnesses described partygoers being packed so tightly together it was difficult to move around or even breathe. Authorities are still investigating what caused the incident, but Chow Seong-bum, chief of the Yongsan-chu Fire Department, said it was a presumed stampede and that many people fell, injuring at least 82. An estimated 100,000 people had gathered on Saturday to celebrate the event. Revelers reported chaotic scenes due to the large crowd of people on the streets before the deadly crush occurred at about 10:20 p.m. when a large crowd, many wearing Halloween costumes, surged into a steep, narrow alleyway of the main thoroughfare near the Hamilton Hotel. This was the deadliest crushing disasters in South Korean history. In 2005, 11 people were killed and about 60 others injured at a pop concert in the southern city of Sangju. That's a wrap of the Monday's regional news. I'm Joel Vogt. Back to you, Travis.